No. Si viene como mira, no se puede sacar.
Tom, I've been at it for 45 years. Well, 45 documented. Okay, same for me. This is the alternative all of us fall into.
Yeah, let's do it. Hello, everyone. How we doing? So excited to be with you here today at the Gibson Garage, and we're going to go ahead and start kicking off our awesome event we have here. You may know me as the sports director of Fox 17. My name is Jill Jelnick. I do the sports for Fox 17. I'm the only one that does the sports. So if you see a woman up there yapping about the Titans, Preds, and Nashville Superspeedway, that is me. So I'm so excited to have a small part in this awesome event as we start the countdown for the big triple header race weekend at Nashville Superspeedway. Starting May 30th, kicks off with the first race, goes all the way through June 1st. Mark your calendar if you haven't already. And as we count down to that big weekend, we want to celebrate here with several drivers and a couple special people as well. So again, thanks so much for coming today. We're going to have a lot of fun, unveil some guitars. So pour yourself a cup of coffee, buckle up. It's going to be a good one. Let's go ahead and start by saying we have a lot of great media here, strategic partners, and of course, passionate NASCAR fans joining us today that have helped make this race weekend so electric. Thank you, Gibson, for helping us make it even more electric with your guitars. But before we dive in, I also want to give a shout out to Gibson Garage, of course, for helping us host this incredible event. Yeah, let's give a round of applause for Gibson Garage. I mean, come on. Name a cooler event than this. We have guitars literally rolling around the ceiling. This is exactly what you want as we start the countdown to race weekend. So thank you for Gibson for the partnership with Nashville Superspeedway. And now let me go ahead and introduce our lineup of guests. First, we have Mark Taylor. Where is he? Oh, come over here, Mark. First, we have Mark Taylor, our Chief Financial Officer of Gibson, who's graciously hosting us today. On top of that, Mr. Matt Gricci to my right, General Manager of Nashville Superspeedway. And then we also have three talented drivers taking time out of their busy schedule to join us today. We have Ross Chastain out of Trackhouse Racing, NASCAR Cup Series star, fan favorite, and of course, oh yeah, the winner from the 2023 Nashville Superspeedway NASCAR Cup Series race. And then to his right, Nick Sanchez out of Big Machine Racing, a lot of Tennessee ties there. NASCAR Xfinity Series driver, also brings the speed and energy to the field every single day. Nick, thanks so much for joining us. Last but certainly not least, Dawson Sutton. Really excited to have Dawson Sutton with us of Rackley War, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series star. He's also representing that next generation of drivers when it comes to the sport. So round of applause for all these three drivers joining us today, taking the time out of their busy schedules. All right, so before we get into the guitars, first I'd like to go ahead and invite Mark Taylor up here with Gibson. He'll have say a few words about this, his partnership with Nashville Superspeedway. So Mark, let me go ahead and step out of the way for you.
Great. Thank you, Jill, and thanks to everybody for joining us today. We got a lot of race fans here, a lot of guitar enthusiasts. We always love hosting here at the garage in Nashville. I want to thank our partners with Nashville Superspeedway, NASCAR, Ross, Nick, and Dawson. Thank you for attending here in person. I really appreciate you making the time. I know your schedules are very busy. Gibson, when you walked through the door, you walked into 131 years of history of Gibson. So we've been around for a long time. We've been crafting these instruments that you see circulating around you. There's probably 400 plus guitars in here, and really, focused around the craft of guitar building. If you have a moment after we're done, go over into our acoustic area, take a look at the harp guitar that Orville Gibson himself crafted more than 100 years ago on display in there. We're really proud to have the partnership with the Speedway. We've been in this partnership for a long time. A lot of pride and energy goes into crafting these guitars that we're going to unveil here. We've been operating in Nashville now for about 50 years, a little over 50 years. We moved our headquarters here, not coincidentally, into the heart of Music City. To be part of that, and have this long partnership with NASCAR. You'll see the craft if you walk around and look at the instruments that goes into these. There's a lot of work at the end, when the last race ended over the last year, with our team on the craft side, incorporating the competition of the racing, and also the creativity of both sides that collide in a good way, to create what we've got here. These are one-of-a-kind instruments that are built by our luthiers here in Nashville. We've got a lot of race fans on the team, in our Gibson family, that take a lot of pride in being able to support this event, to see the unveiling of the guitars here, and then also to see those as we get to hand them out to the winner at the race here in a couple weeks. It's always an honor. I was honored to do that last year, be able to be in victory lane with the winner, and hopefully one, if not all three of these guys, we can see in victory lane and get them another. And Ross needs another guitar. He did commit to learning how to play if he won another guitar. So anyway, I just wanted to welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. Thanks to the partnership. We really appreciate this. Hopefully we'll see everybody on race weekend at Nashville Superspeedway, Guitars and Fast Cars. Just remember that. It is the home of guitars and fast cars, and we're excited to unveil these for you here in a few minutes. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Mark. 130 plus years. You can feel that legacy when you walk into this room. I bet that's why we are all so excited to be here today. Now I want to invite up Matt Gricci, General Manager, Nashville Superspeedway, who will help us set the stage for the big triple header weekend. Matt, come on up, or actually just stay right there.
I'll stay right here.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Jill, thank you. And Mark, thank you so much. I get chills every time I walk into this great space. And Mark said it, true partnership that we have with Gibson and allowing us to do this. This is one of my favorite days each year when we get to unveil the Gibson Les Paul trophies that we get to the race winners for all our races. This is a true partnership with Gibson, and you can see it's part of our history. Stage left here is one that's close, near to dear, and to Ross and his team with Trackhouse of their race win of 2023, and they tuned it in the back, so I think you could probably get up there and try it out. Try it. Well, we're speaking of partnerships, we're just proud to be walking into our 5th annual NASCAR triple header weekend, and with the partnerships that we have with Gibson Garage, but also with each of our race sponsors, and they're represented here today. Rackley Roofing for the 200 Craftsman Truck Series race. Dawson and his team is also based here. Rackley War is from here, him and his family, and what they operate. And then Tennessee Lottery 250, obviously here, home base for the Xfinity Series race. Big Machine Racing, Nick Sanchez, Scott Borchetta, based here. And then obviously Cracker Barrel 400, that I can't say that enough. It puts a smile on my face. Just bringing NASCAR and Cracker Barrel together for the Cracker Barrel 400, based in Lebanon, Tennessee, welcome them into our sponsorship. And then, Ross sitting here to my right with Trackhouse Racing, and Justin Marks and the team being based here. So Nashville is important to motorsports, and motorsports vice versa. I think we're going to represent that come our triple header race weekend, May 30th through June 1st, and really excited that we get to put on night racing each race, which brings a unique flair to racing under lights and fireworks on and off the racetracks, and can't wait to unveil these guitars and see what you guys are racing for. Yeah,
we'll go ahead and about to get to that. I do want to say, just to echo one thing you said, Matt, Nashville is important to motorsports. Motorsports is important to Nashville, and all of the Tennessee ties with the sponsorships and our drivers and their racing hubs. That is proof of that, why this sport is so important to this city. So without further ado, gentlemen, let's go ahead and do the honors. If you wouldn't mind grabbing the guitar that is paired up with where you are seating. And don't unveil it just yet, but go ahead and grab it. And we're going to unveil them all together at the same time. And I'm going to ask everyone in the room to help us count to 3.
Leave it on the base?
Go ahead and... Actually, that's a good question. Okay, yeah. So just get ready. So let's go ahead and count to 3. And on 3, our drivers will unveil the guitars. Here we go, everyone. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right, so Ross has the Cracker Barrel 400 trophy guitar, Nick the Tennessee Lottery 250 trophy guitar, and Dawson on the far right, the Rackley Roofing 200 trophy guitar. So I'm going to go ahead and just ask you guys real quick. Ross, I'll ask you first. You already have one of those, right? It's over here. So now, if you were to win this new one, would you take guitar lessons? How cool would it be, Ross, if you were to add to your Gibson Guitar trophy collection?
It'd be incredible. I mean, when I look at that, and that stays here, this one in our Nashville office, in our headquarters, right around the corner. And Justin Marks is here somewhere. He's out back, probably checking out the vault. It's what that win meant for us as a team. We were in our second year as what y'all saw us as Trackhouse in 2023, and to win here in Nashville was so big. This is where the thought of Trackhouse started. Justin Marks and his family, Aaron and his 2 girls, they moved to Nashville. He was trying to figure out what was next in life, and Trackhouse came to mind, the name. I remember right where I was the first time on the phone. He told me, I'm going to start a race team, and I thought, what? And he said, it's going to be called Trackhouse. And I was like, what? And he explained it, and I would then, I had no idea, but I would drive for him several years later in 2022. And all that started right here in Nashville. There was one time a thought of it being here. It's not feasible with the way our teams operate. With about 200 employees now, we have to be over in Race City in North Carolina, but the heart of it's here. Trackhouse is here. We're here a lot of engagement here in Nashville. Tootsie's on my car this past weekend. We were in second in Texas. But what that trophy means, and what that I was not and have not been exposed to music or guitars in my life, other than casual, like I like country music. I like listening to music, but never learned to play, I don't have any desire to play, because I respect what these instruments are and the people that put that effort in. It's like being a race car driver. I think when people, if they ever actually were going to try to race, they would appreciate more what we do for a living and for our careers. So I can appreciate it just by listening and watching. I have no intentions of ever playing that, but I want some good people, like a good player, to play it one day. So they got tuned just now. So first time I think it's ever on our side been tuned. So now I'm excited to listen to somebody who knows what they're doing, play that instrument. It's a piece of art, and we take it very serious. And we're super excited to be here today.
Very cool. Full circle moment with Trackhouse. The heart is here in Nashville for Trackhouse Racing. And I know a couple people in the audience that are guitar players. They could give you a couple lessons. So find them
Come
later.
on up.
Mr. Sanchez, Nick, your turn now. You have the beautiful Tennessee Lottery 250. You held that in your hands, that trophy. Obviously, with big machine racing, a lot of strong ties to the music industry, Gibson Guitar. I'm going to guess that Scott Borchetta would love to see that hang in his office. Am I right?
Yeah, I think you're definitely right there. And luckily, I'm on the racing side, and he has a record label, so I'm sure there's someone definitely more qualified to play that than me. But yeah, what a great event, and I think it's such a unique trophy that we get to take home. Mine will probably stay here, just like yours did. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful guitar. The purple, obviously synonymous with the Xfinity Series, and yeah, really cool.
Dawson, for you, this is your home. You grew up in Lebanon, Nashville, not too far. So if you were to win, you could take the trophy home, not too far. Just what would that mean, that victory for you, especially with all your ties with NASCAR, Gibson, and your family?
Yeah, it would mean everything, especially since it's my hometown. Racing in Lebanon's really cool, and, I got to do it last year as well. And, now that I have a little bit more experience under my belt and, getting into my second year, I'm just super looking forward to it. And I'm just thankful for, Rackley Roofing. It's a beautiful guitar. I'm looking forward to, coming back in a few weeks and trying to get one. I honestly might get lessons if I win it, so I'm super excited.
There we go. I like that proactive plan. Matt, we'll go ahead and turn it back to you for a second, because I know with Cracker Barrel coming on as the new partner for this year's race, very exciting. There's always something new that you guys add at the Nashville Superspeedway. Talk to us about what's new this year, and of course, the partnership with Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly, the name is different in Cracker Barrel 400. We had breakfast there this morning and enjoyed that, and bringing some of that. Yeah, Ross is still feeling it. So just bringing that to the hometown flavor and the fan engagement that we'll continue to build on, and everything that a race weekend at Nashville Superspeedway is and does, and continue to lean into the fan experience. And a lot of the things that we're focused on is Nashville night racing. One of the most entertaining things is racing under the lights, and we're thankful that we were able to work with NASCAR and bringing that to us all three races, and that's going to be super exciting.
I have a question. Do you ever take into account my time at Tootsie's after the race? You plan these night races. You're cutting into my time at Tootsie's on Broadway.
From the story 2 years ago, I think you had plenty of time.
I did.
Oh, okay. Let's revisit that 2023 win. I would love to hear not only what do you remember from that big win, Ross, but also what was the celebration afterwards.
Yeah, it was. It was an incredible weekend. We qualified on the pole, our first pole as a company, as for me as a driver, for my team, and so for my crew chief, for my spotter, like we've been rookies together in a lot of this stuff. We were first together in 2021, and then when we transitioned to Trackhouse, Justin kept our group together. So that 23 pole was our first one, and then we go out and win the race. Incredible effort, and really, my teammate Daniel Suarez was faster than me. He out-qualified me in the first round, I remember that, and then he unfortunately wrecked in the second round going for the pole. He was going to get it. He was going to be faster than me, and then they had to repair the car, and it never could get back up there. But it was an incredible drive. At the end of the race, we drove from third to first past two guys that I really like beating, the 11 and the 19 car, so that felt really good that night. Those are the memories as a competitor that stick out. And then to get to victory lane, see Justin's face and see so many people that were a part of that beginning of Trackhouse was right here. Tootsie's was one of the early partners in the company before I even was a driver. And to get to talk to Steve and see what that meant for them and what Steve Smith has done in Nashville. He grew up near the fairgrounds, could hear the race cars. He supports that track and wants that to thrive, and he just loves racing. So have been fortunate to be in victory lane with him other times as well, and now to tie it all together that night was really big. And then we spent a lot of time victory lane. I didn't want to leave, but they had to push us out of the track, and we headed straight for Tootsie's. Oh man, it was awesome.
How was that?
It was amazing. It was. We took the whole team there. So when we fly home after the races, usually we're on a chartered plane, and the pit crew, the road crew, the engineers, the sponsor, hospitality folks, everybody gets on at one plane. When we're there, we close the door and fly back to North Carolina. And I was in Victory Lane begging our management team and Justin to please hold the plane overnight. If they want to stay, give everybody the option. And they did. The pilots stayed. The plane just never cranked up that night. We got hotel rooms that we barely slept in, and we had a heck of a time. And Tootsie's was great. Some of our guys got on the drums with the house band. They got to play the drums, and we were singing, and it was, I mean, just, arms around each other like we won. And we took the time to actually stay the night, actually take in the town. And a lot of people in Tootsie's had no idea who we were, but we did. And then we were telling everybody who we were, and we were winning. We had won, and we had a good time.
We might need to warn Tootsie's. Just make sure they have June 1st circled in their calendar.
Sure
They're ready.
See a lot of that.
Y'all got it under control here in Nashville. Those of y'all that live here, look, I actually thank you for the night race. It cuts down the amount of Busch Light I drink.
There we go. We'll keep the
Joe,
night racing.
I would say that's only a Nashville type story, and that's what we lean into, that this is such a destination market. A race win like that and how you celebrate in that city, that only happens here in that type of story. I do joke about you guys had an exciting night, but we use Ross's emotion from Victory Lane that day in our promotions now, because it was raw excitement that he got holding that guitar over his head with his team, that it was true raw emotion that a lot of times you don't see all the time, and we appreciate that.
It's so funny because Nashville is a city you think Nashville, Broadway goes hand in hand with racing and NASCAR and its fans, right? But it has had a little bit of a bumpy history. There was a large part of time where Nashville was not known as a racing city. And it for those that are within the sport or know the city, are like, wait a minute, that's not right. The two go hand in hand. Nick, I'm going to put you on the spot for a second, because when you do think in Nashville, first thing that comes up is music. It's the music city for a reason. And Big Machine Racing is one of those teams that I believe has bridged the gap and has helped bind racing, music, and Nashville. And I imagine that's kind of been your experience following this city and also this race weekend.
For sure, right? And for me, it starts at the top with our owner, Scott Bruschetta, right? He was very instrumental in the Music City GP when it was downtown, and I know he is still a very big part of it at the Speedway. So I think that spans for his love of racing and growing up loving racing, and obviously his success in the music industry and trying to bridge the gap.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like bring racing to Nashville, and I think he accomplishes that.
Yeah, no question, and it's hard to imagine a Nashville summer without it. Dawson, you have such a unique relationship with the sport. Your dad, Curtis, obviously, with Rackley Roofing and the Rackley War Team. I have to imagine that for you growing up, racing has always been something close to your heart and tied very closely with family.
Yeah, for sure. I actually just started racing 3 years ago. Before that, I didn't really know much about racing, but ever since I found it, it's been super cool. I have Nashville Fairgrounds really close to here. That I used to race that on the weekly shows almost each and every week. So luckily enough, I found racing, and there's a lot of racing involved in Nashville. There's lots of other stuff to do too, but I'm only 19 years old, so I can't really party as hard as Ross. But there's other stuff.
Patience. It'll pay off.
That's right. I'll wait. But it's super cool to have racing here, and I'm just super thankful.
Matt, Nick, Ross, Dawson, thank you so much for being here. We're so excited. Let's give a round of applause to our guests today, these drivers and Matt Gricci with Nashville Superspeedway. Thank you so much. And one more thank you again to everyone here for joining us for this special event. Thank you to Gibson Guitar for hosting us in this beautiful space just covered in legacy. And one more quick thing, the Gibson Trophy guitars, there's no question, they are a perfect symbol of Nashville's unique blend of music and motorsport. We can't wait to have them awarded to the winning drivers, hopefully these gentlemen right here. But thank you again for helping us celebrate today. Our media friends that are here in attendance, thank you for joining us. We'll go ahead and have our drivers join you over here to my right. in just a little bit for some interviews. And then, again, one more final thank you to Gibson Guitar for hosting us. Thank you to Nashville Superspeedway for putting on an incredible race, of course. And we're all looking forward to race weekend, May 30th, 31st, and June 1st. So thank you again, everyone, for being here today. Gentlemen, if you wouldn't mind a nice little photo op, we'll go ahead and give our friends one more opportunity to get some good B-roll of those beautiful guitars. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, everyone, for being here today.
Sorry, I just need to get my microphone. You're good. I'll grab this one.
I'm crossing them off.
You'll learn. You're doing pretty good, though.
Appreciate it. Hard questions, right? We might. Some of the other media guys were wondering to get just quick one-off. So when you're good. Hey, how was that? Not bad, right? Yeah, it was good. Just put you on the spot a couple times. Yeah, but that's okay. Get you prepped for like even those big moments, right?
Yeah, well, I've definitely. Usually, when people talk about racing, it's really easy to answer. Nashville and Scott Bruschetta and all that.
It's
like,
it's
it was
a little
improvised.
different. Yes, I think you said all the right things.